Today we're going to be doing an unboxing looking at a variety of 90s to early 2000s Adult Swim cartoons, which I've been slowly over the past year or so building up my collection of various Adult Swim properties, and in this box we have a few that I'd kind of skipped over, and a couple of really obscure ones that I genuinely had no idea existed until I actually looked at what this eBay seller had to offer, and so I was very lucky to bid and win the majority of what they were selling, so I've basically inherited their collection bar one or two items. Here's a preview as to what is inside the box. So we have everything neatly wrapped and a couple of stacks of DVDs to go through. So without any further delay, let's begin with the Space Ghost DVDs. Using the 60s Hanna-Barbera character as a talk show host, we have Space Ghost Coast to Coast, where the series is literally an animated talk show comedy, and it's known as one of the first Adult Swim shows but does date back to the early 90s, where the Adult Swim programming block I believe began in the early 2000s. This show began in 1994, so it does have some years on it, but it's still very enjoyable. There's a lot of great archival material from the series to appreciate, and the show itself, it actually began as an idea from the president of the Adult Swim programming block, Mike Lazo, who was looking for an answer to a cartoon for adults. The show was fairly inexpensive to produce. It reused a lot of assets from the old Hanna-Barbera days from Warner's archive, and the series in itself did help launch the careers of many gifted animators and creators, a lot of which did stick around with the network just to keep generating more iconic TV shows such as this one. So there's a look at the Volume 1 cover art there with Space Ghost, of course. There's Brack, and there is Zarak there featured on the inside. And we have a list of episodes included, and what I really like about this is how they list the special guests that are included. And I always love the music-based ones, such as the Bee Gees there, Weird Al. Some really great names that are included as part of this particular run of episodes. And this set is a 2-disc DVD collection. We also have volumes 2 and 3 of the series, which I didn't mention the episode count for volume 1, that has 16. This one has 14 episodes spread over 2 discs. I love these very mean reviews listed on the side there, by the way. That's tons of fun. And then we have volume 3, which has, I believe, a lot more. Yeah, 24 episodes on this one, but still only 2 discs, which is interesting. So here's a look at the front cover artwork for Volume 2. I love this kind of realistic interpretation of Space Ghost himself. There's a look at the back, including some bonus features that are included. And then we have the iconic character himself there on the cover art. Your list of episodes that are included. And 2 discs for this one. And here's a look at Volume 3 with a much more simplistic interpretation there for the cover design, although I do love seeing Zarak very prominently featured on there, who was one of my favourites, if not my favourite character from the series.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
You.
There's a look at the back cover there with the bonus features if you're interested. And similar to the other sets, this is another 2-disc box set, and was the last of the very easy to get Space Ghost Coast to Coast DVDs. The DVDs beyond this, there was a Volume 4 and 5, which are very expensive, very difficult to get hold of, which I'm trying my best to get for the collection. And then there was the Volume question mark, which has a lot of mystery surrounding it, with the question mark obviously taken there literally, where the set was only done, I believe, as a custom made to order DVD set from the Adult Swim online store, where you could actually add the last episodes that never made it onto DVD onto the disc yourself. Definitely something I would suggest looking into if you are interested in those DVDs, because of how rare they are being custom made. They are extremely difficult to get hold of on the aftermarket. Next up we have the Oblongs, created by Angus Oblong and Jace Richdale, and the series aired on April 1st, 2001 and was cancelled literally just over a month later on May 20th. This is a very short-lived series, and this was due to extremely low opinions on the show itself. No specific reasons were given. People apparently just didn't know how to feel about it overall. And from what I've read online, a lot of people had issues with the body horror stuff throughout, a lot of very bizarre sequences, and many troubling scenes throughout, which meant that with this being a comedy, it was seemingly more depressing than funny. Personally, I'm intrigued to see what the show will be like. I have a very warped and dark sense of humor, so I'm sure there'll at least be something to appreciate here from this collection, of which there are 13 episodes overall. This is the complete series, and most of those episodes did air originally, but 5 of them were left unaired, thanks to the cancellation, which later then ran on Adult Swim, where the series did manage to air in its entirety. And here's a look at the cover art there beneath the slipcover. There's a little family photo there, I guess. And there is a list of episodes, so there is 1 through to 7 on disc 1, and the remainder there on disc 2. And I believe it was the episode Disfigured Debbie that caused the cancellation, so I'd be very intrigued to see what that one is like, since I'm guessing that's a more grotesque episode than the rest of them, if that was enough to warrant the decision for the show to be cancelled and the rest of the episodes to never air. Kind of bizarre. And then there's a list of the bonus features included, and the 2 discs. Next up we have The Brak Show, which is a spin-off series from Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and the series I believe serves as a prequel for the fan-favourite character of Brak. And this show began as an estranged sitcom parody, but then descended into pure chaos, becoming a sci-fi fiction. And the show did last for a little while. It lasted for 28 episodes overall, where it was then eventually cancelled, concluding with a one-off webisode. Does anybody remember webisodes? That's definitely a throwback. I believe there was more of those planned, but it only lasted for one of those, and then the show was put to rest, as it would be. And this is Volume 1. It contains 14 episodes. The same seller did have Volume 2, and I did try to bid on it, and unfortunately at the very last second I did get outbid, which is what it is. It's a shame that I didn't get both volumes together, but still, I'm sure somebody else is enjoying that particular DVD set. And I love the cover art for this one, designed as a paint-by-numbers kind of thing, which is quite fun. And there's the 2 DVD discs there featured on the inside. Pushing the adult animated sitcom formula, Mission Hill was created by Bill Oakley and Josh Weinstein in the late 90s, who were known as former executives and showrunners on The Simpsons. And although I know very little about this series personally, from what I've read, this series serves as a perfect example, looking at how a network can kill something before it even has a chance to shine. And originally the show was planned for 18 episodes, only 13 were produced, and the show was cancelled after 2 of them. How bad could the show possibly be? Well, in truth, it doesn't appear to be bad at all. Looking on websites such as IMDb, this show has a very strong rating, a dedicated cult following, and albeit even though it was a very short-lived series, the show is apparently supposed to be getting a 6-episode spin-off or revival of some sort, and in March 2023 it was announced that the show was just not going to happen. So this series has been very much mistreated from the folks over at Warner, it appears. Bill Oakley has publicly shamed Warner for how they treated the project, which is understandable with everything taken into account. But there's a look at the back cover, and then opening up this DVD set, on the inside we have the list of episodes there featured, and 2 DVD discs. Lastly, we have every volume of Squidbillies released onto DVD, and surprisingly this show lasted quite a while. 13 seasons overall and over 130 episodes. Sadly, not all the episodes have made it onto DVD, but a good majority of them have. And riding the success of Space Ghost and Aqua Teen amongst others, the idea originally came from Mike Lazo, who was at the time the president of Adult Swim's programming, looking for new content, and he left it up to Jim Fortier and Dave Willis, known for their work on The Brak Show and Aqua Teen, to create a series based around the phrase Squidbillies. And so we literally have a sitcom-style series following a hillbilly squid family of sorts. So we'll go through the DVDs individually. Here is Volume 1, with Early there prominently featured on the front cover. And I love the designs on this one, looking like something that's actually come from the in-universe of Squidbillies. I think that's a really neat touch. And there is the inside artwork for this one. And this one is 2 discs, just like the other ones. Here's a look at Volume 2, another 20 episodes spread over 2 DVD discs. Some very creepy artwork on this one. I believe these are some of the designs on Early's hat, if I'm not mistaken. And rather than the box set style, we switch over to just DVD cases for the next few. So here is Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, and finally Volume 6, which I believe is a made-on-demand edition if memory serves. Very simplistic artwork on this one, literally nothing at all beyond the front cover. So that's going to do it for this DVD unboxing video looking at a variety of Adult Swim and Cartoon Network shows. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave me a like down below. Let me know in the comments if there's any shows you would like to see a video more in-depth on from this selection. And for more videos similar, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, DVD Review Studios.
Are you threatening me?